Colin Kaepernick wrote the New York Jets a letter requesting to be on their practice squad. That's sad. But if you want to be happy, go to www.NTTFGPOD.com and subscribe. I'm Rock.
And I'm Archie.
Well, our opinions, they might not matter to some, but...
What are you doing in there?
It's a podcast.
Immature, crass, trashy. And those are their good qualities. These poor schmucks are a couple of IQ points away from eating paste. But when it comes to music, sports, and comedy, well, that's all they know. You're listening to
Not These Two Fucking Guys.
Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast.
Yo, Rock.
Yo.
How much on a scale of 9 to 10 am I a Stain fan?
22.5.
Fucking new album is fucking amazing. Do you see how electrifying this fucking eyes are?
Yeah, but do you like it?
It's all right. The new Stained album, Confessions of the Fallen, we haven't heard anything from them since 2010, I think. It's every fucking thing a Stained fan wants and more. Ask me why I said more.
Okay.
They're incorporating like new sounds into this album. Into this new album. It's so fucking good, Rocco. Please listen to this whole album. From start to finish, there are 10 fucking Stained bangers. Now, I understand what people say out there. They're like, oh, you know, it's kind of like dark and depressing and pain. But I love it. Love it. But they're incorporating like trap beats. Like you hear like subs and shit. Like
wow.
in the verses and stuff. It's different for them, man. It's fucking different. And it's almost like Seven Dust has been doing shit like this for like a little while, you know, and Stain incorporating this, and it sounds so good, bro. There's a song called "Was Any of It Real?" and God,
that was a story about how you lost your virginity.
Yeah,
got him.
All right. Before I get to like the ballad. Do you know like when Stain knows how to write a song?
Yeah.
Aaron and Stain, they know how to write a fucking song. Lowest in Me, Cycle of Hurting, Hate Me Too. They're fucking bangers. Like,
and a song called
You're Like This. And the best is that he fucking showcases his growling and screaming, and his voice is like, his voice is amazing. His voice is just, I don't care. He's one of my favorite vocalists, so that's why I'm so biased about this. But I'm gonna say it on this podcast now. I could be wrong. I lost it. Stained. It's Been a While, or So Far Away, Outside, right? Like those are like, that's what pretty much they're known for.
Yeah.
They just incorporated another one to those. It's called Here and Now. Here and Now. I never watch videos. I don't watch videos anymore, really. I just go right to Spotify and listen.
They still fucking make videos?
Seriously. This video was not a lot of money to make. They shot them at the studio just singing, white wall, and then they cut and they made like a little story, right? And the story was like I don't want to get totally into it. Everybody should see it out there, but it was like the father son. Father's definitely has like dementia, and the guy's, the son's losing his father, and you can just see it as it goes through the stages from boy to man, and how he's losing his father to like this disease or something. And like I watched it at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I had like a little like alcohol in me. I was doing some work and I listened to it. It was so good. I was like, oh my God, this new Stain song. Let me hit. It came up on YouTube. I put it on. I'm like,
I just need a second.
I'm sitting at my computer. I'm like, oh, nobody here. I'm crying. But dude, just listen, man. Here and now.
I mean, that sounds fucking uplifting to me.
If I'm not correct, which I'm usually not, this is gonna be a soundtrack to some movie. It just sounds too fucking cinematic.
Too good.
Too good.
Big,
Like,
epic.
It's epic. It's epic, this song. Like, it's just right up there with Outside, and it's been a while. So when you got the dynamic of like Lowest and Me, and then you go to Here and Now, they bring you on a ride. I can't say enough about this album. I'm biased. It's one of my favorite bands. Confessions of the Fallen is fucking phenomenal. It's fucking
I'm
phenomenal.
gonna check it out.
Gotta get it. LA right now? Is that where
I'm in LA, yeah.
Okay. All right. We're in Jersey. All right, brother.
It sounds like you're in Jersey.
Yo, Rock.
What's up, man?
Oh, man. It's about that time again. Are you ready?
Damn right.
Our next guest is known for his performances with his explosive solo work, true guitar wizardry, shredding skills, stage presence, and an infectious passion for rock and roll, my friend. If you've never seen him with his band Phil X and the Drills, you might have caught him with his other little band called Bon fucking Jovi. Welcome to Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast, Phil X.
Yeah, but maybe you see me at the airport too.
What's up, man? How are you?
Dude, man, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here. And, like I said before we went on, it's been a while. It just seems like you're either doing a whole bunch and then there's a dry spell and then you're doing a whole bunch. But this is one for the books, man. I'm excited.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you, man.
I gotta say,
yes.
I gotta say your intro, really well written and very well delivered. Thank you.
You want they call me the postman, my friend.
I'm
trying.
This man.
It's the only thing. It's the only thing he's good at. Believe me. You'll see that.
Oh, that's funny.
My wife says the same thing. Weird. Oh, well. So before we get into it, there's something in the news that I just want to talk to you about because this is fucking awesome. The Sphere, the Sphere in Vegas.
Dude.
Like, come on.
Well, this is what's funny about being me and having people in my phone book is I see a picture of Paul McCartney and then John behind him, and then I don't know, Adele somewhere in there. And so I, text him the next day. And before I even say, how was the Sphere? I'm like, dude, did you go to the Sphere with Paul McCartney? Or did you just end up sitting behind him? Oh, yeah, man, we went together with, and Adele was with us too.
Oh,
and and then it was, how was it? And even John, man, he's hard to impress sometimes, but he said it was like a complete art experience, but with U2 playing. It was like, he said it was pretty amazing. I can't wait to see it. I'm actually on my way to Nashville for about a month.
Okay.
And then when I get back, I got to take my girl.
I don't know if you can pick a better band to open up something like that with that type of look and feel.
Well, it's pretty amazing, right? And the catalog.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh.
Man, I saw U2. I've seen them a bunch of times, but even when I saw them like 20 years ago, it was like hit.
I know.
Hit. It was like, what's happening?
I know.
It was pretty amazing.
I know.
And that was, I think, the Pop Mart tour with the giant lemon and shit. It was, but I mean, the band, and the venue, apparently they were showing stuff that happens outside the Sphere.
Yeah.
And like a giant basketball or and it's like, what the hell is that? And then you find out there's an inside and even cooler. I mean, it's pretty amazing. I mean, I can't wait to go check it out and maybe one day play. Who knows?
I mean, why not have Bon Jovi there for an excellent?
Right? I'm sure he got a ton of ideas.
Oh, to take your show to the next level.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, you say you and John playing fucking Wanted in the fucking Pennsylvania, in the West. I mean, like, you know, like just like a whole fucking 3D type of shit. Crazy, man. Crazy what they could do.
But you guys got plans, right? You got your tickets yet? You got to be going.
Yeah, soon. We'll see. We'll see.
Tickets.
Yeah, I'm lucky I can get out to fucking MetLife to go see the Giants, if anything.
Oh wow!
But
that's funny too. Like in 2019, we played the MetLife Center, and the guys, the OG guys, still call it Giant Stadium because
it'll always be Giant Stadium,
right? Yep. So they're like, "Man, can't we play Giant Stadium next week?" I'm like, "Giant Stadium? That's not on schedule." And they're like, "Well, because it's called the MetLife Center now." And I'm like, "Oh, okay,
yeah,
got it."
I know. And that Rocco and I grew up maybe 15 minutes away from there, so we know that it's Giant Stadium, you know.
So in 2022, we went by it all the time because before we did the tour in April, we rehearsed at another smaller arena. And the name is escaping me right now, but we were there for 3 weeks. I think they
Center?
played there. The what?
Izod Center? Would that
no.
have been it?
Prudential Center, maybe?
No, that's the big place.
Yeah.
We played there in 2018. It was it was a smaller place. Like I think before the Prudential Center was there was this little.
Okay.
It'll come to me. Anyways, I came in here. We walked in. And John's like, "Wow, I haven't been here since 90 something." And he decided he just loved the vibe of the place, and that's where we rehearsed for 3 weeks before the tour.
Nice, that's really cool.
Yeah,
starts you off on the right foot with a good feel, you know.
Well, you can't go from a rehearsal room to an arena. Only because, like, for the first show, hey, okay, so we've rehearsed our asses off. Now we're jumping into arena. You can't do that. There needs to be a buffer because of the bombastic sound around you from an empty place that you do at sound check, and you got to dial in your ears, and it takes you a good week to get used to how open it sounds in an arena, and you're still getting the slap off the back, and you got to get used to. And I usually tell the sound guy to turn the subs down. My argument is always like, "Man, Zeppelin didn't have no subs." He's like, "Yeah, you're right." I'm like, we're not here doons. We're a rock band, man. We don't need no subs. So anyways, that's another thing that I'm always the dick walking around going, "What's that?"
Hey, Phil, why don't you just go play guitar, Phil? We got this over here.
Yeah, that's it. What do you do again? Right, play guitar. Stick to that.
Yeah. There's so please forgive me when I do say this. I always knew your face. I've seen you for years and years, but I became familiar with your backstory from Hired Gun. And I actually waited like a geek on this. I waited to see this, and I brought my wife, and my wife was like, "Yeah, you know, she was down. Let's go." And we went to the movies to see this. I wanted to see this so bad. And
wow,
our podcast is fortunate enough that we've had on Liberty DeVito, we've had on Kenny Aronoff, and now we have you on, and like this documentary. It was just so fucking cool. It was just so done well.
I know, and it's. I have so many people that come up to me all the time, and for years it was like, "Hey, you're the guy from Bon Jovi," or "Hey, I saw you on Frederick Americana." Those 500 vintage guitar videos that I did for the Frederick Americana channel. So a lot of, man, I learned playing guitar from you. I get a lot of that from that show. But then it's Bon Jovi, and then it was I'd be walking through the airport, like I said earlier, and it's hey man, I just watched Hired Gun last night. You're great in it. You seem like the only happy guy in there, but I laugh, and they don't mean it, but it's kind of an ongoing joke I hear from a lot of people. I was like the ray of sunshine in the vibe because everybody's like, but it's true for me too. Like when even being a band like Bon Jovi, I guess people think that because I'm in this situation that it's I'm on salary or something, which isn't true. If we're not playing, they ain't paying. So I'm busting my ass in between tours like anybody else.
Yeah.
But I just happen to have a studio in my house, and the way the world is now recording wise, people send me sessions. I put the session up on my computer, lay down anywhere from between 2 and 18 guitars.
Wow.
Drop that back to them, and then the PayPal's in the account the next day. And I do it all the time. And it's funny because when 2020 lockdown happened, the Drills tour in the UK/Europe got cut in half.
Okay.
We had to come home or we wouldn't come home. And
Thank
then Bon Jovi was canceled for that spring, and you're just going, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
So, but it's like anybody else, And then in June of 2020, I remember it specifically because in June of 2020, people like musicians, songwriters, producers, people were like, I'm not going to just stop. Everybody started making music again. You couldn't go on the road to support it, but you could record a single or a record and stuff like that. So I was getting my phone. Yeah, I can do it on Tuesday. Yeah, I can do it on Thursday.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, you're busy. And I'm like, thank God.
Yeah, man. You got to keep those hands fresh, man.
Yeah. And that's the other thing too. You don't play for a while. Like when I get home, I pretty much go from stage pants to daddy pants without a buffer. So it's kind of like, oh yeah, daddy's home. Yeah, all right. And then I haven't played in a week and a half, and I pick up a guitar and go, whoa, feeling a little tight there, buddy. I gotta try and get up earlier, let the dogs out, and stretch, and play a little guitar before I get the kids up for school.
Wow. All right. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, you got to do it. You got to do it. We have kids ourselves, and not do what you do, but we need our time before the kids have to, sometimes.
Well, it's funny.
You need your time.
My son knows how to break my heart, because we're literally going to Nashville for a month to record.
Okay.
And, and his birthday, he's literally turning 10 on the 24th. And I'm like, bud, I got to tell you something. I don't think I'm going to be here for your actual birthday. And he said, that's okay, Dad. I'm used to it. I was like, what? This thing, what? So, but it's a really amazing family that Bon Jovi is. I call John and I say, hey, bud, I can't miss my son's 10th. Like that's a year, at the landmark. So, and he's like, yeah, man, totally cool. You can go home for a couple of days, be with your kid, and then see you when you get back. That's cool. It's pretty amazing how, and obviously he's a family guy, being, a father of 4.
Yeah.
And so he understands.
No, that's good. I'm glad that you got that, because
you have to have that balance.
Yes.
Work-life
I mean,
balance.
the balance keeps us on our toes, right?
Yeah.
Or is it our toes that keep us on balance?
So, I'm assuming Bon Jovi's recording a new album in Nashville now? That's where you're going?
What? Did I say that? Maybe.
Oh, boy.
There it is. That's interesting.
Well, we've been doing John wrote a bunch of songs, and we did some pre-production in Jersey last week, and it just
Where'd you go?
I'm not telling you.
You fucking creep. I ain't saying shit.
Want my address as well? It's like no, it's not like we don't go to a public facility.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So we and it was really cool because I had really cool moments. I even told John, it's that when we rehearse with for tours and when get the dust off, we're in a room and our cabinets are downstairs and we're wearing in-ears, so we get used to the in-ears again before we go on the stage and stuff. And the songwriting / pre-production was very more relaxed, no in-ears. John Shanks and I had little amps, and there's a couch, and David Bryan's on a Baby Grand, and we're like, I felt like, I remember, I love documentaries. I remember the Eagles recording the Hotel California record.
Yeah.
And it took me to that moment where they're like small amps, small kit, they're going through songs, and it felt like that. So I thought, wow, man, what a moment. And then I appreciate stuff like that. I love those moments where it takes me back. Like, I see a picture of me on stage, because the drummer, I was playing with a band called Kurt Dimer for a while, and the drummer put a GoPro here, and he would just not only film this whole thing, he would take snapshots, and he sent me one, and it was my hair in the back, and I was wearing bell bottoms that night, and I'm playing, you see the Explorer from the back, and it takes me to the back of a Ted Nugent record when I was 12.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So it's those things, it's those things that keep you, riveted to what you do. It's like, wow, man, I get to do this, and I still have my hair. This is awesome.
Nothing against you, pal, but you got a great head of hair. You got a great head of hair.
I won the hair. I won the hair lottery, guys. Like, I'm not going to complain ever.
I tell you what, not even to go on this tangent a little bit, but like my brother and I saw Ted Nugent about a month ago at the Starland Ballroom in Jersey.
Yeah.
Talk about a fucking guy who owns his instrument. Oh, just picks it up and just eats it and just fucking.
I know. And you know what? He was a guy. He's a guy that it was before. I tell people this: before there was Eddie Van Halen in my life, it was Ted Nugent. Saw him in concert at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, and blew my mind. And when I got home from school every day, I dropped the needle on Double Live Gonzo. So the first guy, because of Hired Gun, I became bros with Derek St. Holmes. And,
okay.
I see him out somewhere, and he goes, come on up. And I go into Stranglehold. And when he starts singing, I'm 11 again in my dad's basement, dropping the needle on Double Live Gonzo. Time travel is here with music. You remember your first makeout session, your first kiss, or your first, heartbreak. You remember all that stuff because of songs. So for me, Derek St. Holmes was the first thing, but I have this message in my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I got to tell you how important Ted Nugent was to me when I was a kid.
Okay.
Moving on, January 26th, I'm shaving, and my phone rings, and it's an unknown number. So I just let it go to voicemail. I finish shaving, check my voicemail. It's the most amazing message I've ever heard in my life. And it's Ted Nugent leaving me a voicemail. And he sounds like he's doing an interview, and the way he talks and banters and run-on sentences and all this stuff. But he's saying, relax. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And he goes, hey, and if you want to talk about it, Ted Nugent, and says his number.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
So, of course, I'm marinating on this the entire morning, and afternoon, I got to call him. So I call him, and we chat, and he's just basically, he had seen a lot of my videos and was kind of floored by the way I play and my soul. And he gave me the flaming Ted Nugent middle finger to hats off to me. And it was like really, really amazing. And
I must have felt so.
And then we texted, and he texts me stuff, and I text him stuff, and I'm like, how the fuck is this even happening? Yeah. So I'm glad I didn't answer the phone, because now I have that message in my phone forever. And it's pretty amazing. And then I was like, he's like, and it's funny that you mentioned that show, because I was only in town for July. I spent the entire month, almost the entire month of August in Indonesia. A whole other story. Okay. But I hit Ted, and I go, dude, I'm like texting, dude, did I just read that you're like, this is the last tour that you're going to do?
Yeah.
And if it is, you're only playing July and August, and I'm away out of the country in August. So I'm going to have to fly to see you, because you're not coming to LA. I'm going to fly to see you somewhere in July, and I'll let you know. And he says, his response is, calling. I'm like, oh, ring. Bill X. So he goes on into his 10-inch rant. He goes, dude, if you fly somewhere to see me play, you're getting on stage and we're going to play Stranglehold together. And I'm like,
Oh my God.
the fuck? So I could not, for the life of me, get it together with scheduling and stuff.
Gotcha.
And then I had to leave. And then they said, hey, you're leaving earlier for Indonesia now.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I had
yeah.
to do that. So I said, dude, I can't come to any shows in July, but if you're serious, I will come to a one-off. After this tour, you're not touring anymore, but you're going to still do one-off shows. I'm coming to a one-off show and I'm going to jam Stranglehold with you. And he said, hell yeah, you are.
Good.
So
good.
I'm looking forward to that.
That's something nice to look forward to.
You know, right? Like, I mean, this is a thing that happens pretty. Am I supposed to try this?
I wanted you to have it while it's hot.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, very nice.
So, right? It smells good. So, but this has been my year. You know, like in March, like I've jammed with so many people. I was a huge Uli John Roth fan, and I went to Japan with Uli John Roth with his band in 2019 January.
Okay.
And I got to play with him and Rudolf Schenker and Rudy Leonard, the original drummer from Virgin Killers, and we did Catch Your Train, which is, I learned that solo when I was 16 because it blew my mind. Nice. The funny thing is this year, like, you know, I've been getting to know Michael Anthony from Van Halen.
Nothing wrong with that.
Wrong with that. So I got to jam with him in March. Doing a fundraiser for kids with heart problems.
Okay.
Because it's a sad story. His grandbaby didn't last more than a few days because they had a heart issue. Yeah. So he started this whole thing, and Sammy was there. And, you know, you're on the phone with Michael Anthony. He goes, yeah, man, just get up, do a couple of songs. And I go, well, man, you sing Somebody Get Me a Doctor. Can we do that? And he goes, yeah, but you got to do something with Sammy. And I'm like, okay, I don't know any Hager era Van Halen. He's like, oh, well, let's do Rock Candy or something. Okay. Nice. So I learned Rock Candy when I was probably 12 or 13.
Yeah.
And so, and he still sounds incredible. So I'm on stage. I do Somebody Get Me a Doctor with Michael and the drummer Mike Lewis, and then Sammy gets up, and we got Trey Cool from Green Day playing drums for Rock Candy. So that's a power super band right there. Wow. And Bumblefoot is to my right. He goes, I'm just gonna play rhythm, man. I'm like, okay, dude. It was like when stuff like that happens, you realize that you're in good company. You pulled some really good moves to get here, and congratulations. I'm gonna eat this.
So
it's good.
Right on the side, Rock. You had Bumblefoot going, hey, yo, Phil, do you mind if I play some rhythm guitar?
Yeah. Right on.
We love Bumblefoot. We're actually
he's a buddy of ours.
He's a buddy of ours. He actually recorded Rocky and I when we were many years ago.
Oh man, he's such a great dude, and such a planet from another planet player. Oh. Like he's just, I hear stuff and I'm like, okay, that's alien shit, man.
Yeah. Alien.
But what's funny is what's funny from the Sammy Hagar thing is that you know, when you're on stage, you want to make sure that you're listening, no matter who I'm playing with. I got to listen to make sure I'm what I'm supposed to be doing, my job.
Yeah.
But I did this one lick in the first verse of Sammy Hagar of Rock Candy, and Sammy turned at me like it's a really simple 2-note lick that's on the record, and he looked at me like, and he's singing, but the look on his face is like, dude, nobody plays that lick. That's amazing. It was like that. So that was one of those moments where I'm like, oh wow. So I'm just going on and on about amazing moments.
That's great.
I'm blessed. I'm grateful.
Yeah.
Grateful for all this stuff that happened. You know, it's stuff like this. It's not uncommon for a call to say, "Hey, can you play this fundraiser?" And they, you know, 7 of my favorite guitar players that are playing, and I'm going to be on stage with those guys. It's kind of like, what? How did this happen? Amazing.
That is amazing.
But then there's still moments. As much as you do, you still see something. You're like, wait, why aren't I doing that? That's my selfish side.
Yeah. Yeah.
More and more.
There's so
Or I'm eating two pieces of meat because my wife will be like, "Did you try it?"
It's all right. It's all right. There's a question I have, and it's funny. I'm saving it if I ever meet Bruce Springsteen, but I want to ask you this because you work with John, and I want to know something about the writing process. Does John walk in and say, "Hey, man, I got a song. Now I want to hear this on the piano. I want this on the drums. I hear this in the guitar." Does he go to each individual, or what is the freedom that each of you have? Or does he give like maybe like a couple chord progression or something like that? How does the process go?
Well, no, the chord progression is 90%. The melody is about 60%. And it's rightfully so. He's been working. He's got the lyric, and he looks at a lyric as a narrative.
Okay.
He knows what he wants to hear. So, but he does, like, he has said, "Hey, I'm thinking this on the kick drum," like as specific as that.
Okay.
I want to hear this on the kick drum in this verse, and then make it like this in the chorus. Tico's like, "Good. Lemma, come up with one of your, Bed of Roses kind of intro kind of thing here." And then Shanks is also producing. So he's got his producer hat on. So not only is he coming up with guitar parts, he's his job is to get John his vision into a reality. And there's been times, and two things can happen. I'll play a part and John go, "Yeah, I like that." Or I'll play a part and go. But it's happened. But then he goes, "That was a great part actually, but not
Now we're looking for right now.
That for something else." It's like anybody. I've worked with other songwriters, and my first time working with songwriters way back when I was a kid, I want to say 20, 21, and I was working with a band called Frozen Ghost up in Canada. Today, every one. First guy, I went into Studio Vision, and he said exactly what he wanted, and everybody in the band did their thing. And then once you get the vision together, then you can test the waters and stray a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to where the band is connecting. And that's that Eagles moment that I was talking about. I think most of the songs that we did pre-production for surpassed his expectations, which is always great. And that only happens with a group of people. So, that's my opinion.
Got it.
You could, I've done it both. One of my favorite records that I worked on was the first Daughtry record with Home and It's Not Over. And there was just an Daughtry on drums and Paul's an old bass player. And we were the band, and they played us a demo, and we would just go into the floor and we'd go, "Well, we got to do something about that demo." And when we just start rocking out, and we became the sound of Daughtry. So, and it was a great calling card. People were like, "Hey, get that guitar player that Daughtry record," for months, maybe even years after that.
Wow.
So, but it's nice to be in a situation where you're allowed that freedom. Now, there's a producer saying, whoa, guys, that's too crazy.
Yeah.
This is American Idol music. And I'm so glad Chris is still going, and it's not American Idol music. He became an artist.
Yeah.
And he's still, tickets, and he's doing great and touring, and he's got a great band. But it's that thing, you know, we created something, and it was really amazing to be a part of that. There's been a few records where I was in the making of, and I mean, to pat my own back, I have really good instincts when I hear a song. Like I hear, like I did 4 sessions in here last week, and it was 3 for one project by one producer. And I'm like, hey, what are you hearing here? He goes, I'm hearing Phil X instincts. And I'm like,
Nice.
Okay.
That's a high
Wide
compliment.
open canvas, boys.
Seriously.
So I go in there and I plug in this guitar and that amp, and I go, okay, that's not right. I plug in this guitar. Oh, that's the one. Left and right, do a couple of things, a little ear candy here and there. And I send it to him, and he sends me 2 more songs, and I do those 2 songs. I send those back. I don't hear anything for days. I don't know if I hit the mark or was way off base. And he's like, your instincts are on fire. Everything. And he describes, I love what you did in this song. I love what you did in that song. This part was spectacular. I had to copy it with another instrument to make it come to life. And I was like, that's your job.
Yeah.
There's no writing. And but it's your job to, and because I'm a songwriter, like with the drills that you mentioned earlier, I look at it as a songwriter, even though it's not my song. I know the vocal is king, and it's your job as a guitar player to take the listener on a journey with the vocal leading. So, you know, the verse is going to sound one way, and the pre-chorus has to bring you up a little bit, but that chorus has to smack you in the face. And that's how we build.
Don't bore
That was
us.
a
Get
really
to the
long
chorus.
answer to your question.
It's okay. I mean, hey, listen, dude, this is what you're here for, bro. You got to talk.
Talk. But you wait. I want to hear. When you ask Bruce that question, I'd love to hear that.
I mean, I'm a huge Bruce fan, and who knows if I'll ever meet him. And like, how many things we love you. I love what you did here. You could say, I just want to know real quick, Bruce. Can Max go off? Can Jake do what he'd like? You know, does the professor, can he put some salt and pepper on things? I just want to know.
And what if he answered you? I don't write any of my own shit. What are you talking about?
I don't write shit.
Yeah.
Oh, Phil, I think we lost you.
Oh no.
He's
Lose me?
back.
Oh,
He's
you're
back.
back. Oh, Uncle Phil, where are you? Almost.
Really? No.
Ooh.
Almost.
Oh, we got him
What's
back.
happening?
We got him back, folks.
I think we got him back. Maybe take another piece of the meat, bite the meat, and then maybe you'll come back. Oh,
We're not back.
what? Almost. Yep, there you are. Kind of. Can you hear us?
So it's got to be mine. Man, that sucks.
That's all right. You're in like do you remember years ago Ace Frehley had like some like crazy underground fucking recording studio? Frehley, is that where you are? Fucking
That's where I am.
all
Frehley's
right.
comment.
We're not gonna keep you anymore, man. But go ahead.
Do we want to try making a new call to finish it?
Well, I got one more question for you. So we'll just hopefully can you hear me? Can you hear us?
I hear you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll do one more question. Hopefully we'll get through this. But we appreciate your time, man. So I know that anyone can play through Eddie Van Halen's rig. I could play through Ace Frehley's rig. I'm not gonna sound like Ace Frehley. You're just not. It's just the way it is. But
No.
in your opinion, what makes a guitar player sound his definitive sound? Even if you had everything that Dimebag has, but fucking Zach Wild is Zach Wild. What makes
you know
a
what?
guitar player?
It's funny because for obviously hands, but also obviously the soul and the heart and everything that drives the hands to do what they do on the instrument.
Okay.
But for me, it was very evident with Ed. Like Ed is a perfect example because I mean they just put out demos that Don Landy did that didn't make Van Halen 1. Don Landy and Ted Templeman. And they just put those out and I was listening to it and Ed is so Ed. This between the demos and that first record is when he came up with tapping. So there isn't even tapping on the demos.
Got it.
But he's still blazing and his pocket. You can hear mistakes, but even his mistakes are in the deep groove of Alex Van Halen. There's something about the rhythm between those two cats because they started playing together early on and they probably did thousands of gigs, backyard parties, Gazzari's, the Whiskey, tons, Starwood, all that stuff, all those gigs paid off because they're one of the tightest bands you ever heard. Now, guitar wise, I heard this one time. I always thought it was in the hands, but I was working with Dave Friedman on my signature head, my signature amp. And I went in, he goes, "Hey, I want you to play through this guitar, this amp. It's a Van Halen amp." And I'm like, "Oh." And then I started playing some Van Halen and he just looked at me, he's like, "You got Ed's hands." I'm like, "What?" He's like, You got Ed's hands. When you play, people play this rig all the time. You play this rig. It sounds like Ed. They play this rig. It's them. But I mean, I was so into Ed. I just, every nook and cranny of his style, I was ingrained in me. And even when I do my own Phil X stuff now, there will always be a little Eddie Van Halen fire. Even if it's not his licks and it's my licks, you'll still feel that kind of bouncy, fiery, piss and vinegar punch in the face. And falling down the stairs and landing on your feet, like he used to say. It's ingrained in me, you know? And
cool.
But it's funny to hear somebody say that about you, and you're like, thanks. That's like, I've never heard a compliment like that, put like that, from a guy who's got great ears, like he makes these amplifiers. So it was pretty.
That's pretty cool, bro. That's real cool, man.
Really
That's,
cool.
Like, and I mean,
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna say some people say Rocky's got Peter North's dick, but I don't know. We never know.
Oh boy.
I have Peter North's range.
That's fantastic.
Yo, dude, honestly, we can't thank you enough. And we really, really appreciate your time. And I know it's valuable, and good luck with this new record, brother. I hope, we won't tell anybody. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's too late, right?
Yeah. But
let's just put it on the beat.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, guys, thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, dude.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Maybe we'll all have a sandwich in Jersey sometime.
That would be awesome. Maybe
100%.
someday down the road after the album, maybe we can get you on for a couple minutes. That would be awesome. Like, you're just a cool guy. You're a cool guy, dude. Thank you so much.
You too.
All right, bro. Ladies and
Just
gentlemen,
cool,
the great,
but nothing, right? Nothing beat first.
Of course. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Phil X. Follow him.
Thanks, guys.
Guitar Wizardry. Good night, brother.
Wizardry.
Gandalf. Later, brother.
Take care.
You guys.
All right.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the great Phil X.
Oh fuck.
A little bit of a delay, but we got through it. Rocky's having a heart attack.
No way.
That was awesome. I fucking geeked out. That was awesome.
Oh my god. Yo, what did you say?
What about Peter North?
No.
Oh, I thought that was pretty funny.
I can see your eyes more and more getting more and more Jameson.
I just wish it was a clearer channel, bro. Like he's fucking
No,
funny.
you're talking about the sphere, and you're like,
What? On the intro? Why? What?
No.
I asked him about the sphere.
yeah, you're like, yeah, they're playing. I forget what fucking song you said. One Dead or Alive. You're like,
Yeah. Oh, why? That's not. No, that's a song.
it is. But you're like, getting it all.
You're in Pennsylvania. I meant the West.
Oh god, I'm gonna fucking have a heart attack.
You feel like
Why those fucking you say Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania's out west. I had west. I had west in my head, and then Pennsylvania came up in my head. I don't know why I said Pennsylvania. All right, it was
All
stupid.
excited, yeah, and all fucking Pennsylvania in the background.
They're playing Wanted Dead or Alive. There's Hershey Park in the background.
All the West and Pennsylvania have to do with each other. Oh my god.
Hershey Park's in the back.
You're all like,
I meant to say west.
oh, Pennsylvania's in the back. Oh god.
Ah.
Yo, that was a hell of an ab workout I just had. Holy shit.
The great Phil X. Nope.
We go back to geography. Not your thing.
He's awesome.
Yeah, what a cool guy. What a
So,
fucking cool guy.
He's just chilling. Just chilling. And I'm just gonna slay guitar for a living.
Yeah,
Good for him.
sick fucking guitar player.
Good for him.
He has the life that you want. Listen, fucking imagine this, right? You could be home every day, your lovely family. All you had to do is record guitar parts and send them out to people.
Yeah. Not a bad gig.
Not a bad gig if you can get it.
Well, everybody out there, that was Phil X. Sorry about the little delay or the lack of geography on my part or the
you're playing Dead or Alive and fucking all Pennsylvania's lit up in
Pennsylvania.
What?
All right. Sometimes hey, listen. Wherever I park at the mall, I always find my car.
What a shame.
So with that being said, Rocco, what do you have to say to the people?
Pennsylvania. You just heard us talking to Phil X. You're slamming beats by Skrillex. You had some Tex-Mex, and now you're dropping the hottest shit out there like Funk Flex. Then you just listen to Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast. Yeah.
Put a little gobbledygots into it.
If you just heard us talking to Phil X and you think the Jets have a big hex, you took your girl out for Tex-Mex and now you slamming some beats by Skrillex.
Can you please send me the isolated clip of you saying
Dick tits.
Pennsylvania?
If you just
Please
heard us
send me
talking
that.
to Phil X, you're bumping beats by Skrillex. You took your girl for Tex-Mex and
I
you
didn't know
think that
what
the
the
Jets
fuck
got
you
a
were talking
Tex-Mex?
about.
What does that mean? It's not your fault.
All
It was like